Listen to me. You are worthy and you are precious simply because you are you, not because of what you have accomplished, how attractive you appear, how much you earn, or how many people approve of you. Your value began with your life. It was present in your first breath before you had proven anything to anyone. You did not arrive in this world carrying a list of requirements you had to complete before becoming worthy of love. You arrived whole, open, and deserving of care. If you have forgotten this, there is nothing wrong with your essence. There is only an old belief asking to be healed. Many people live as though worth were a prize hidden at the end of a long examination. They think, when I become successful, then I will respect myself. When someone chooses me, then I will know I am lovable. When I fix my body, eliminate every weakness, and stop making mistakes, then I will finally be enough. Yet every time one condition is satisfied, the mind creates another. The finish line keeps moving because worth can never be secured through a system designed to question it. Your achievements can be celebrated, but they do not manufacture your value. Praise may feel wonderful, but it does not create your dignity. Your appearance can change, your role can change, and the opinions around you can change, yet the life within you remains worthy of kindness. You do not become more human when you succeed, or less human when you struggle. You are not required to be extraordinary every day in order to deserve ordinary respect. Perhaps you learned that being useful kept you close to others. You became the helper, the peacemaker, the responsible one, or the person who never asked for much. These qualities may contain genuine love, but they become painful when they are used to purchase belonging. You are allowed to help because you care, not because you fear becoming disposable. You are allowed to rest without apologizing for temporarily being unavailable. The part that needs healing is not your fundamental nature. It is the belief that taught you to look at yourself through an unfair mirror, a mirror shaped by another person's limitations, changing expectations, or unresolved pain. A distorted reflection does not mean the person standing before it is distorted. Today, you can begin to look again through the eyes of compassion. Say gently, "My value is not a reward. It is part of my existence. I am willing to remember the worth that has always lived within me." The belief that you are not enough rarely appears from nowhere. It may begin when affection seems warmer after achievement and colder after disappointment. Perhaps you were praised for being obedient but discouraged from expressing your own needs. Maybe you were compared with someone whose nature, abilities, or circumstances were entirely different from yours. A young mind may not understand that adults have fears, biases, and emotional limitations. It simply concludes, if I become better, quieter, more useful, or more impressive, I will be safe and loved. Then life brings experiences that seem to confirm the conclusion. One failed attempt becomes, I am incapable. One person leaving becomes, I am unlovable. One rejection becomes, there is no place for me. The event may have been painful, but the conclusion about your identity was not necessarily accurate. Someone may leave because of their own capacity, timing, priorities, or path. An opportunity may close because of fit, preparation, competition, or circumstances. None of these events possesses the authority to define your entire being. Repetition can make a conclusion feel true. A sentence heard frequently becomes familiar, and the mind often mistakes familiarity for fact. But an old thought is not sacred merely because it has been repeated for many years. It is still a thought, and thoughts can be examined, softened, and changed. Begin by separating what happened from who you are. Instead of saying, "I am a failure," say, "Something I attempted did not produce the result I wanted." Instead of, "I was abandoned because I am not lovable," say, "Someone left, and the loss hurt me deeply." Instead of, "Nobody needs me," say, "I experienced rejection in this situation." This language does not minimize your pain. It removes the unnecessary sentence imposed on your identity. Place your hand over your heart and say, "This happened to me, but it is not the total truth about me. I can honor the experience without turning it into my identity." In this way, you keep the lesson while returning the verdict that never belonged to you. Comparison takes a visible fragment of someone else's life and uses it to judge the whole of yours. You see their achievement, relationship, confidence, or recognition, but you do not see every year of preparation, every private uncertainty, the resources available to them, or the sacrifices involved. Then you compare their visible chapter with the place where you are still writing yours. This is not a fair measurement. Your nature has its own rhythm. Some people move quickly and discover themselves through action. Others need time to observe, understand, and build carefully. Some thrive in public spaces. Others create their finest work in quiet concentration. If you force yourself to bloom according to someone else's season, you may pursue a life that looks impressive but feels unfamiliar from within. You do not have to reject admiration. What you admire can become useful information. Instead of saying, "They have what I should already have," ask, "What possibility in me is being awakened by what I see in them?" Perhaps their freedom reveals your desire for independence. Their creativity reminds you that your own ideas need room. Their confidence shows you that you are ready to speak more openly. Admiration becomes a compass when it stops being a weapon. Return to your own position. Ask, "Where am I now? What have I survived, learned, or improved? What is the next step that respects my nature?" Your next step does not need to resemble anyone else's. It only needs to be honest enough to belong to you. A result tells you what occurred at one point in time. It cannot measure all the courage required to begin, the discipline developed along the way, or the wisdom gained through adjustment. It does not record every occasion when you wanted to stop but chose to continue. A finished outcome is one part of the story, never the entire meaning of the journey. A process can be valuable before it becomes successful. You may be learning to communicate, to tolerate uncertainty, to organize your energy, or to trust yourself. These changes may not yet be visible to an audience, but they are building the person who will carry your future. Even an unsuccessful method can offer clear information about what to change. When something does not happen as hoped, do not make yourself smaller. Perhaps the approach needs refinement. Perhaps more preparation is required. Perhaps the timing or environment is not supportive. Perhaps another direction will honor you more fully. You can evaluate the result without placing your worth on trial. Create a kinder measurement. Ask, "Was I honest with myself? Did I act according to my values? Did I learn something useful? Did I preserve my dignity while pursuing what I wanted? Am I more aware than I was before?" These questions recognize growth that a simple win or loss judgment cannot see. Today, let this be your new foundation. I do not need every result to validate me. I honor my courage, my learning, and the integrity of my journey. I was worthy before I began. I remain worthy while I grow, and I will still be worthy wherever this path leads. And as you begin to measure your life with greater kindness, you may notice another place where the old belief of not being enough has been hiding. In your need for other people to confirm that you are worthy. There is nothing wrong with enjoying appreciation. A sincere compliment can brighten the heart, and being recognized for your work can be deeply encouraging. We all need moments of connection in which another person says, "I see you." The difficulty begins when being seen by others becomes the only way you can see yourself. Then approval is no longer a gift. It becomes your emotional food, and you may feel as though you cannot survive without it. When approval becomes your only source of worth, you begin adjusting yourself before anyone has even asked you to change. You say what you think people want to hear. You hide a desire because someone may call it unrealistic. You agree while something within you is quietly saying no. You overlook your limits, offer more than you can genuinely give, and remain silent when honesty would protect your dignity. From the outside, this may look like kindness or flexibility, but inside, you may feel increasingly far away from yourself. The trouble with external approval is that it constantly changes. Someone may praise you today and be too distracted to notice you tomorrow. A person who once admired your choices may later disagree with them. Public attention moves quickly, and even loving people cannot reassure you at every moment. If your value rises and falls with every reaction, silence will feel like rejection, disagreement will feel like abandonment, and criticism will feel like the loss of your identity. You will spend enormous energy monitoring faces, messages, and moods, trying to determine whether you are still allowed to feel good about yourself. This is why self-recognition is so important. Self-recognition is not arrogance. It is not believing that you are superior or refusing to learn from others. It is the quiet ability to say, "I know what I contributed. I recognize the effort I made. I respect the feeling that is present within me. I am willing to listen to my own needs." You can remain humble and still acknowledge that you handled something well. You can receive feedback without handing another person complete authority over your identity. Whenever you feel the urge to reshape yourself for acceptance, pause and ask, "Am I abandoning something true within me in order to be approved of?" Perhaps you are about to agree to a commitment your body does not have the energy to carry. Perhaps you are minimizing an accomplishment because confidence makes someone else uncomfortable. Perhaps you are hiding your values to remain welcome in a room that only accepts a smaller version of you. The answer does not always require a dramatic confrontation. Sometimes it simply asks you to stop, breathe, and choose one response that does not betray you. As you stop living entirely through the eyes of others, you can begin to respect your own nature. You are not a meaningless repetition of someone who came before you. You carry a particular combination of temperament, memory, sensitivity, intelligence, humor, desire, and ability. No one has moved through life with your exact history, and no one can express what you carry in precisely the way you can. You do not have to make yourself important through constant performance. Your distinct way of being already gives you a place in the fabric of life. Respecting your nature means ending the unnecessary war with qualities that genuinely belong to you. If you are introverted, you do not need to become the loudest person in every room to prove that you are confident. You may contribute through careful observation, thoughtful preparation, or a few meaningful conversations. If you are sensitive, you do not need to become emotionally numb in order to be strong. Sensitivity may help you notice what others overlook, understand unspoken feelings, or create beauty with great depth. Strength is not the absence of feeling. It can be the ability to feel deeply without abandoning yourself. If you are naturally creative, a rigid environment may drain you even when you are performing well. If you need structure, constant unpredictability may exhaust you even when others find it exciting. If you process slowly, you may need time before giving a meaningful answer. If you think quickly, you may need a place where ideas can move freely. None of these differences automatically makes one person better than another. They simply describe the conditions under which different people can offer their best. Perhaps something that once made you feel out of place is connected to your greatest contribution. The child who asks too many questions may become the adult who discovers a better way. The person called too sensitive may become the one who helps others feel understood. The quiet observer may see the pattern everyone else has missed. The dreamer may imagine what has not yet been built. When you stop treating difference as evidence of defect, you create room for its purpose to emerge. Tell yourself, I do not need to become another person for my life to have meaning. I am willing to discover the value in the way I was made. Let this be more than a comforting sentence. Allow it to inspire curiosity about who you actually are beneath the roles you have learned to perform. Begin noticing how your own mind works. Do you understand something best after reflecting quietly? Or do you discover your thoughts by speaking them aloud? Do you learn through images, experience, repetition, or language? Do you prefer to begin quickly and adjust along the way? Or do you need time to prepare before moving? When you understand your natural process, you can stop calling yourself lazy, slow, impulsive, or difficult simply because your method differs from someone else's. Then become clear about the values that give your life direction. Perhaps freedom matters deeply to you. Perhaps family, creativity, integrity, service, stability, beauty, faith, or peace forms the center of your choices. Values are not goals you complete and place on a shelf. They are qualities you wish to embody while you move through daily life. Two opportunities may look equally impressive from the outside, yet one may honor your core values, while the other asks you to leave yourself behind. Ask yourself what makes you feel quietly alive. This does not have to be something dramatic. It may be organizing a confusing situation, making something beautiful, caring for someone, explaining a difficult idea simply, repairing what is broken, or creating a sense of welcome. Also, notice what repeatedly leaves you depleted even when it receives applause. Exhaustion does not always mean you are on the wrong path, but it can contain useful information about pace, environment, expectations, or the way you are using your abilities. Your strengths may be so natural that you rarely count them. Perhaps people trust you because you listen without rushing them. Perhaps you can see order inside complexity. You may be able to lead, teach, connect, comfort, observe, design, negotiate, or bring calm to difficult situations. Do not dismiss a capacity merely because it comes easily to you. What feels ordinary inside you may be precisely what another person needs. Knowing your nature does not place you inside a permanent box. You are allowed to develop new skills and surprise yourself. Self-knowledge is not a label that says, "This is all I can ever be." It is a relationship that says, "This is how I currently function. This is what matters to me. And this is what helps me grow." When you know yourself in this living, flexible way, you become less available for definitions imposed by people who have never truly listened to you. And once you know your nature, the next loving movement is to nurture it. You are not a broken project requiring endless correction. You are a living person in a continuous process of development. Growth does not have to begin with disgust. You do not need to hate your present self into becoming a healthier future self. In fact, lasting change often becomes more possible when the part of you that is struggling finally feels safe enough to learn. Nurture your body before it reaches complete exhaustion. Rest is not a reward reserved for the moment when every task is finished. That moment may never come. Eat and move in ways that express respect rather than punishment. Listen when your body asks for a slower rhythm, different support, or appropriate professional care. Loving the body does not mean demanding that it always feel well. It means refusing to turn discomfort, fatigue, or change into another reason to attack yourself. Nurture your mind by becoming selective about what you allow to occupy it. Notice which conversations leave you clearer and which ones make you question yourself for hours. Notice whether the content you consume informs you, inspires you, or repeatedly invites you to compare and criticize. You do not need to eliminate every difficult idea, but you can reduce unnecessary exposure to voices that profit from making you feel inadequate. Your attention is part of your inner home. Treat it with care. Nurture your gifts without demanding immediate proof that they will become successful. Give yourself time to be a beginner, right before you know whether anyone will read it. Learn the instrument before expecting applause. Practice the skill before requiring it to generate income. A gift needs room to develop without being forced to justify its existence at every stage. Sometimes the first purpose of a talent is simply to bring you into deeper contact with yourself. This way of nurturing yourself becomes easier when you replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Many people believe harshness is what keeps them disciplined. They say, "If I stop criticizing myself, I will become careless. If I accept myself, I will never improve." Yet constant inner attack often creates fear, avoidance, perfectionism, and exhaustion. A mind that expects humiliation after every mistake becomes afraid to experiment. It may delay starting, hide unfinished work, or give up before anyone else can judge it. Compassion does not excuse harmful behavior or erase responsibility. It allows you to see what needs correction without turning correction into destruction. You can say, "I spoke in a way that caused pain, and I need to apologize," without saying, "I am a terrible person who deserves no love." You can admit that a habit is no longer serving you without making your body or character the enemy. Responsibility becomes more useful when it is separated from shame. Speak to yourself as you would speak to someone you dearly love. Say, "You tried with the understanding you had. This did not unfold as you hoped, but you are still capable of learning." One mistake cannot contain the whole truth of who you are. Notice that these words do not deny what happened. They create the emotional safety required to look at it clearly. A healing response can be simple. First, name the event without exaggeration. Then, acknowledge the feeling it created. Choose the kindest, truthful response available, and finally take one concrete step of repair. I missed an important deadline. I feel disappointed and embarrassed. I will not insult myself. I will communicate honestly, adjust the plan, and create a reminder for next time. This is compassion with movement. It helps you grow without requiring you to bleed emotionally for every lesson. As you practice this, believing in yourself begins to take on a new meaning. Self-belief does not mean you never experience doubt. It means doubt is no longer enough to make you disappear. It means you trust that you can accompany yourself through uncertainty, learning, and change. You may not know whether the plan will work, but you know you will not use the result as an excuse to abandon yourself. Trust grows through lived experience. Keep a few small promises rather than making enormous declarations you cannot sustain. If you say you will spend 10 minutes on something meaningful, show up for those 10 minutes. If you need to protect a boundary, state it calmly and honor it with your behavior. If your body needs rest, let your action confirm that its signals matter. Each consistent choice becomes a quiet vote for the version of you who can be relied upon. Do not wait for perfect confidence before acting. Confidence frequently arrives after you discover that you can survive beginning, learning, adjusting, and trying again. Send the message while your hands are still a little nervous. Share the idea without requiring it to be flawless. Ask the question even if your voice is not completely steady. A small, courageous action tells the mind, I can move while uncertainty is present. And please remember that not all healing has to occur alone. Human beings need to be seen, not merely analyzed or corrected. Sometimes you need someone to sit beside you without rushing to turn your pain into a lesson. You need a space where you can speak honestly without being mocked, minimized, or made responsible for the listener's discomfort. Safe connection can offer your mind a new experience of what it means to be known. A respectful relationship can gently change the image you hold of yourself. When someone listens to your feelings without calling them excessive, you learn that your inner world can be welcomed. When you tell the truth and are not punished for it, honesty becomes safer. When another person enjoys your presence without demanding constant usefulness, you begin to understand that belonging does not always have to be earned. Choose carefully where you place your vulnerability. A safe person respects confidentiality, does not use your tender places as weapons, and can acknowledge emotion without immediately dismissing it. They do not have to agree with everything you say, but they can disagree without degrading you. They allow you to remain a full person rather than turning you into a problem to solve. Learning to receive support may feel unfamiliar if independence once protected you. You may instinctively say, I am fine, even when you are overwhelmed. Begin gently. Accept one offer of practical help. Tell one trustworthy person what you actually need. If old pain is affecting your daily functioning, relationships, or safety, seeking support from a qualified professional can also be an act of deep self-respect. Needing help does not cancel your strength. Sometimes strength is the willingness to stop carrying alone what was never meant to be carried alone. Now I would like you to return to your own worth in a practical way. Take a piece of paper and write 3 qualities that belong to your nature, not 3 achievements. You may write, I am thoughtful, I am persistent, I bring warmth to people. Let the words describe how you meet life rather than what you have won from it. Next, Record one thing you have done with courage, even if the result was imperfect. Perhaps you began again after disappointment, told the truth, asked for help, or left something that was hurting you. Do not reduce the courage simply because the ending was not the one you wanted. Honor what it required of you to act. Then identify one place where you are currently seeking approval. Ask, what do I truly want beneath this need to be validated? Perhaps you want reassurance, belonging, permission, visibility, or respect. Consider one way you can begin offering a portion of that need to yourself while remaining open to healthy connection. Finally, take one self-respecting action. Say no to something you cannot carry. Rest before reaching collapse. Ask for the support you have been avoiding. Begin the work you have postponed because you were waiting for permission. Let the action be simple, specific, and possible today. And now, let these words settle into you slowly. You do not need to force them. Receive the ones you are ready for, and allow the others to wait lovingly at the door. I am worthy because I exist. My value does not depend on comparison. One result cannot define the whole of who I am. I do not need everyone's approval in order to respect myself. I recognize and appreciate my unique nature. I am becoming clearer about my values, motivations, and strengths. I nurture myself with patience, wisdom, and kindness. I learn from my mistakes without turning myself into a mistake. I build trust by keeping small, loving promises to myself. I am safe to be seen, heard, and supported. I choose relationships in which respect can move in both directions. I believe in my ability to learn, heal, and grow. I do not need to become someone else to be complete. I am enough as I am, and I remain beautifully open to growth. Take a gentle breath and remember, you are not being asked to prove your worth today. You are being invited to live from it. You can know your nature without limiting it. Nurture your gifts without rushing them. Correct your choices without condemning yourself. And receive love without earning every drop of it. The belief that you are not enough may have been repeated for a long time, but it was never the deepest truth of you. Beneath that old sentence is a life that has always been valuable, a heart that has always deserved tenderness, and a person who is still becoming more fully themselves. You are enough now, and your growth is not evidence of deficiency. It is the natural unfolding of the precious life already within you. Let me speak to the woman who is tired of chasing, tired of proving, tired of waiting beside a door that only opens a little and then closes again. Let me speak to the part of you that has sent one more message when your heart was already aching, explained one more time when your truth was already clear, forgiven one more wound when your body was already saying, "This hurts me." My dear, chasing often begins when you forget your value. It begins when you believe you must do more, become smaller, wait longer, accept less, and abandon more of yourself in order to be chosen. But love that requires you to abandon yourself is not the love your soul is asking for. You do not have to earn love by becoming less honest. You do not have to earn love by making yourself easier to neglect. You do not have to earn love by pretending your needs are not there. A woman of value does not chase because she has remembered something sacred. Love is not meant to be begged from someone who cannot recognize the beauty standing before them. Love is meant to meet you with presence, respect, tenderness, and peace. A woman of value is not cold. She is not hard. She is not playing games with silence. She is not pretending she does not need anyone. She is not trying to make herself untouchable so that no one can hurt her. No, dear one. Her power is much softer than that. She knows she has a heart, and because she has a heart, she protects it. She knows she is loving, and because she is loving, she does not pour herself endlessly into places that cannot receive her. She knows, I have value. I do not need to run after what does not know how to honor me. Say gently, I stop chasing. I return to my worth. What is meant for me meets me in love, respect, and peace. Let those words move through you slowly. You are not saying you will never desire love. You are not saying you will never feel tenderness, longing, attraction, or hope. You are saying, I will not let desire make me forget myself. I will not let longing become self-abandonment. I will not confuse being chosen with being valued. Your worth does not begin when someone notices you. A quick reply does not make you more valuable. A delayed reply does not make you less valuable. Someone's attention does not create your beauty. Someone's silence does not remove it. A relationship does not decide who you are. Self-worth is the foundation within you that says, I am worthy of love even when no one is validating me today. I am worthy of respect even when someone else does not know how to offer it. I am worthy of tenderness even when I am alone. When self-worth is weak, the smallest signs can begin to control your whole nervous system. You read every message again and again. You measure your value by their tone. You become anxious when they pull away. You feel relief when they return, even if they return without real change. You accept crumbs because the fear says, what if there is no one else? You betray your real needs because the wounded part of you believes that being low maintenance will make you easier to love. But my dear, being easy to neglect is not the same as being easy to love. A relationship that requires you to silence your needs is not peace. A connection that makes you afraid to tell the truth is not safety. If you must become smaller to keep someone close, the closeness is already costing too much. The woman of value does not ask, how can I make them choose me? She asks, is this worthy of my heart? That question changes everything. When you ask, how can I make them choose me? You may begin performing. You may adjust your words, hide your pain, soften your boundaries, forgive too quickly, wait too long, and call anxiety passion. But when you ask, is this worthy of my heart? You return to dignity. You remember that your heart is not a place for careless hands. You remember that love should not require constant guessing. You remember that attention is not the same as devotion, and chemistry is not the same as care. Now let us speak about feminine energy, because softness has been misunderstood. Feminine energy is not weakness. It is not helpless waiting. It is not silence without self-respect. It is not giving someone unlimited access while calling it love. Feminine energy, in its healed form, is receiving with dignity. It is presence. It is intuition. It is softness that still has boundaries. It is trust that does not abandon wisdom. It is the ability to open to love without forcing love to appear where respect is absent. You do not need to control every detail in order to feel safe. You do not need to pull someone toward you to prove that you are lovable. You do not need to manage another person's effort, maturity, consistency, and emotional availability. When you chase too much, you may accidentally take away the space where truth could reveal itself. You may fill the silence so quickly that you never learn whether they would have stepped forward. You may explain so much that you never see whether they truly wanted to understand. You may carry the connection so completely that you never discover whether they are capable of meeting you. The right silence is not a game. It is not manipulation. It is observation. It is you saying, I will not rush to fill every empty space. I will allow truth to show itself. In that space, you can see, do they come toward me? Are they consistent? Do they respect my feelings? Do they repair when they hurt me? Do they have the maturity to meet me at the same frequency? Do they bring peace, or do they bring confusion and call it love? A woman in her healed feminine energy is not passive. She is receptive. She is not powerless. She is discerning. She does not force what is not flowing with respect. She does not chase what keeps running. She does not beg for clarity from someone who benefits from her confusion. She allows love to come toward her, and she watches whether that love has the quality of truth. Say softly, I allow love to come toward me. I do not force what is not flowing with respect. Let this affirmation soften the anxious part of you. You do not have to force love. You do not have to make someone ready. You do not have to turn inconsistency into a spiritual test. You do not have to prove your value to someone who keeps treating your presence as optional. Love that is healthy may still take courage, but it will not require you to disappear. Love that is aligned may still ask you to grow, but it will not ask you to betray yourself. Rest in your worth today. Come back to your own body. Come back to your own breath. Come back to your own life. Let your energy return from the places where you have been overreaching. Let your heart return from the conversations where you have been over-explaining. Let your power return from the person who has not chosen to meet you with care. You are allowed to be loving without chasing. You are allowed to be soft without being available for disrespect. You are allowed to desire partnership without making another person the source of your worth. You are allowed to stop running after love and begin becoming a home for love. And when you become that home, what is meant for you will not need to be dragged, begged, or forced. It will meet you in love, respect, and peace. And now, dear one, let us go deeper into the part of love that is not about another person at all. It is about the way you hold yourself when desire rises, when fear rises, when the old wound is touched, when the phone is silent, when the heart begins to imagine stories, when the younger part of you wants to reach, chase, explain, beg, and prove. This is where self-mastery begins. Not in becoming hard, not in becoming emotionless, not in pretending you do not care. Self-mastery begins when you can feel everything and still not abandon yourself. A woman of value knows how to pause. When she feels ignored, she does not immediately conclude, I am not enough. When someone becomes distant, she does not rush to beg for certainty from a place of panic. When insecurity rises, she does not turn fear into impulsive action. She stops, she breathes, she observes, she comes back to herself. This pause is not weakness. This pause is power. It is the moment she remembers, I do not have to let an old wound make today's decision for me. Self-mastery is not control in the harsh sense. It is not saying, I must not feel this. I must not miss him. I must not care. I must not be sad. No, dear one. That would only create more struggle inside. Self-mastery is the ability to listen to emotion without letting emotion drive the whole life. It is the ability to say, I can miss someone and still keep my dignity. I can like someone and still not abandon myself. I can feel sad and still not return to the place that hurt me. I can love and still have boundaries. I can desire connection and still choose peace. This is very tender work, because inside every strong reaction there is often a younger part of you who is afraid of being abandoned. When the message does not come, she panics. When someone pulls away, she believes love is disappearing. When there is uncertainty, she thinks she must do something quickly or she will be left behind. Do not scold this part of you. Do not call her needy. Do not humiliate her. She is not trying to destroy your life. She is trying to protect you from an old pain she remembers very well. Place your hand over your heart and speak to her softly. You are safe with me. We do not have to chase love anymore. Say it slowly. Let the frightened part of you hear it. You are safe with me. We do not have to chase love anymore. This is healing. This is the moment you stop leaving yourself to get someone else to stay. This is the moment you become the safe person your younger self was waiting for. And this brings us to another deep wound in love: scarcity. Scarcity says, good love is rare. There are not many chances. If I lose this person, I may lose everything. Maybe I should accept less. Maybe I should wait longer. Maybe I should ignore the pain. Maybe this is all I can have. Scarcity makes you cling, not because your soul truly feels nourished, but because fear has convinced you there is no other road. When you believe love is your last chance, you stop choosing from love. You begin choosing from fear. You may stay where you are, not respected, because loneliness feels terrifying. You may accept inconsistency because a part of you says, at least there is something. You may keep hoping a person will change, even when the truth in front of you has been speaking for a long time. You may confuse attachment with devotion, anxiety with passion, and waiting with loyalty. But abundance in love does not mean treating people as replaceable. It does not mean you become careless with hearts. It does not mean you say, there are many people, so no one matters. That is not abundance. True abundance means you trust that life has more than one way to love you. It means you do not worship a connection that wounds you simply because you are afraid nothing else will come. It means you can honor what you feel while still saying, I do not need to hold tightly to what does not hold me with respect. Ask yourself gently, am I choosing this person from love or from fear of being alone? Let the answer come without shame. Ask, am I staying because this is aligned or because I have already invested so much? Ask, am I waiting for them to change or am I listening to the truth in front of me? These questions may be uncomfortable, but they are loving. They do not take love away from you. They return your power to you. Say softly, there is enough love in life for me. I do not have to cling to what hurts me. Let that become a medicine for scarcity. There is enough love in life for me. I do not have to cling to what hurts me. You do not need to grasp at love like it is the last drop of water in the world. You are not abandoned by life. You are not forgotten by love. You are learning to stop confusing crumbs with nourishment. And now, dear one, Let us move from chasing into enjoying. Chasing makes your energy tense. Enjoying makes your energy luminous. When you chase, your energy says, "Please choose me. Please notice me. Please confirm that I matter." When you enjoy your life, your energy says, "I am living. I am present. I am becoming." The right love may enter, but I am not empty without it. This is not pretending you do not want love. This is refusing to make your entire life wait outside someone else's door. A woman of value does not pause her life for a message. She does not place her whole happiness inside someone else's reaction. She does not stop caring for her body, her mind, her work, her friends, her joy, her home, her creativity, and her sacred space. Because one person has become uncertain, she continues to live. She continues to nourish herself. She continues to become the woman she loves, and that is what makes her magnetic. A woman becomes magnetic not because she is trying to impress. She becomes magnetic because she is present in her own life. She has energy because she is no longer pouring it all into anxiety. She has softness because she is not constantly fighting for validation. She has radiance because she is connected to herself. She enjoys her morning. She enjoys her body as it is learning to feel safe. She enjoys her work, her growth, her friendships, her quiet moments, her beauty, her dreams, her little rituals. She is not waiting to be chosen before she begins living. Say gently, "I enjoy my life. I enjoy my energy. I enjoy becoming the woman I love." Let those words bring you back from the screen, back from the waiting, back from the mental story, back into your own body. I enjoy my life. I enjoy my energy. I enjoy becoming the woman I love. This is not selfish. This is the garden of your being. Love may come and sit beside you there, but you are not leaving the garden empty while you chase someone down the road. Now let us speak of conversation, because a woman of value understands that words carry energy. Sometimes we speak too much, not because we have so much truth to share, but because we are trying to fill insecurity. We explain and explain because we want reassurance. We send long messages because silence feels unbearable. We offer too many details because we hope that if they finally understand us, they will finally choose us. But dear one, the person who wants to meet you will not need you to bleed your whole soul onto the floor just to prove that your feelings matter. A woman of value does not need to over-explain. She speaks clearly. She speaks truthfully. She speaks enough. She knows that more words do not always create more closeness. Sometimes more words only reveal that we are trying to carry a conversation that needs two people. Sometimes silence tells us what a paragraph cannot. Sometimes a pause gives the other person space to show whether they are truly listening. Silence can be confidence. You do not need to fill every space. You do not need to rush to entertain, convince, defend, or soften every truth. A peaceful gaze, a gentle smile, a thoughtful question, a slow and honest response. These can carry more power than many anxious sentences. The way you speak matters. The energy behind your words matters. A woman who is at home in herself does not throw her words everywhere hoping someone catches them. She offers them with presence. Deeper conversation is not about impressing someone. It is about discovering whether there is real meaning. You might ask, what truly matters to you? What makes you feel at peace? What are you building in your life? What have your past relationships taught you? How do you define respect? These questions are not games. They are invitations. They help you listen beneath charm. They help you notice maturity, values, emotional honesty, and the way someone sees love. And remember this, real mystery does not come from pretending. It does not come from acting unavailable. It does not come from hiding as a strategy. Real mystery comes from having a deep inner life that you do not need to expose completely for validation. You do not need to empty your entire soul into the hands of someone who has not yet shown they can hold it gently. You can reveal yourself slowly. You can let trust grow. You can allow intimacy to be earned through respect, consistency, and care. Now let us speak of standards. A woman of value is not only attractive, she has standards. And standards are not arrogance. Standards are the way you protect your heart with love. Standards say, my heart is precious. My time is precious. My peace is precious. I am willing to love, but I am not willing to disappear. You are allowed to want consistency. You are allowed to want respect. You are allowed to want clarity. You are allowed to want kindness. You are allowed to want emotional maturity. You are allowed to want a love that does not make you beg for the basics. Do not lower your standards to keep someone close. If a person only stays when you remove your boundaries, that is not safe love. If they only like you when you have no needs, that is not tenderness. If you must pretend to be unaffected to be loved, you are paying for connection with your own truth. Love that is right for you will not require you to become smaller than your soul. This does not mean love is perfect. Healthy love still has conversations. It still has misunderstandings. It still requires patience, humility, repair, and growth. But healthy love does not make you feel foolish for needing respect. It does not punish you for telling the truth. It does not make you beg for consistency. It does not confuse your nervous system so often that peace feels impossible. Say softly, I do not lower my worth to keep someone close. Love that is right for me respects who I am. Again, dear one, I do not lower my worth to keep someone close. Love that is right for me respects who I am. Let this sentence become a boundary inside you before it becomes a boundary outside you. Now let us gather the 7 core lessons of a woman of value. First, she does not chase ambiguity. Long-term confusion is not mystery. It is lack of clarity. A little uncertainty can be natural in the beginning. But if someone keeps you in a fog, if they keep giving just enough to keep you hoping but not enough to make you feel safe, she steps back and observes. She does not make a home in confusion. Second, she does not turn love into a competition. She does not compete to be chosen. She does not compare herself with other women as if love were a prize given to the one who performs best. She observes who has the maturity to choose her with respect. She knows that being chosen by someone who cannot value her is not a victory. Third, she knows softness needs boundaries. Softness does not mean allowing people to step over you. Softness does not mean saying yes when your body says no. Softness is beautiful when it is protected. A flower is soft, but it still needs the right soil. Your tenderness is sacred, and sacred things deserve care. Fourth, she does not use beauty to replace self-worth. She may care for her appearance. She may enjoy looking beautiful. She may dress, move, glow, and express herself with pleasure, but she does not place her soul inside another person's gaze. She knows beauty is lovely, but worth is deeper. She does not become dependent on being desired in order to feel valuable. Fifth, she does not chase someone who is not ready. A person who is not ready can turn your love into waiting. They may like your warmth, your support, your patience, your attention. But if they are not ready to meet you, you will keep pouring into a future they are not building. A woman of value blesses what she feels, but she does not build her life around potential alone. Sixth, she knows how to receive, not only give. She gives from love, but she also allows others to invest, care, show up, and step forward. She does not carry the whole emotional weight of a connection. She does not make herself the only bridge. She allows the other person to demonstrate intention. Receiving with dignity is part of feminine energy. It says, I do not have to do everything to be loved. Seventh, she chooses peace over drama. A healed heart no longer confuses chaos with passion. The body may once have mistaken emotional highs and lows for chemistry. It may have called anxiety excitement. It may have called inconsistency intensity. But now she is learning that peace can be passionate too. Safety can be beautiful. Consistency can be romantic. Respect can be deeply attractive. And now, dear one, let us come back to the mirror, because everything we have spoken about must return to your relationship with you. Stand before the mirror when you are ready. Look into your own eyes. Do not look for flaws. Do not search your face for what should be changed. Look at the woman who has chased, waited, hoped, hurt, loved, forgiven, feared, and still kept going. Look at her with tenderness. Say slowly, I love you. Let it be simple. You do not need to feel it perfectly. Willingness is enough. Say, I value you. Let the words reach the parts of you that thought value had to be earned through being chosen. Say, I will no longer chase love by abandoning you. Let this become a vow. Say, you are worthy of respect. You are worthy of tenderness. You are worthy of a love that feels safe. This is not just affirmation. This is a commitment. It is you deciding that from today forward, you will no longer stand on the side of fear against yourself. You will no longer help the wound convince you to chase what hurts you. You will no longer let loneliness lower your standards. You will no longer call self-abandonment devotion. You will no longer confuse being wanted for a moment with being loved in truth. Mirror work may feel emotional because you are finally speaking to the one you have been asking others to rescue. And as you look into your own eyes, you may realize that the love you were chasing outside was also a love you needed to offer within. The reassurance, the tenderness, the safety, the promise not to leave. Begin there. Begin with yourself. Say again, you are safe with me. We do not have to chase love anymore. My dear, this does not close you to love. It prepares you for love. It makes your heart cleaner, clearer, and more available to what is true. When you stop chasing, you do not become less loving. You become more honest. You stop pouring yourself into absence. You stop calling anxiety connection. You stop making your worth dependent on someone else's readiness. You return to yourself, and from that place, love can meet you differently. You are allowed to be a woman who feels deeply. You are allowed to want partnership. You are allowed to enjoy romance, softness, affection, devotion, and being chosen. But you are also allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to say, I will not chase what cannot meet me. I will not lower my worth to keep someone near. I will not turn my tenderness into a place where disrespect can rest. Become the woman you love. Enjoy your life. Speak with presence. Keep your standards. Listen to your body. Let your silence be observation, not manipulation. Let your softness have boundaries. Let your desire be guided by dignity. Let your heart remain open, but no longer unprotected. And carry this with you. I stop chasing. I return to my worth. I allow love to come toward me. I do not force what is not flowing with respect. There is enough love in life for me. I enjoy becoming the woman I love. I do not lower my worth to keep someone close. Love that is right for me respects who I am. All is well, dear one. You are not behind. You are not too much. You are not hard to love. You are learning to love yourself so deeply that you no longer mistake pursuit for proof, inconsistency for passion, or crumbs for devotion. You are becoming a woman of value, not because someone finally chooses you, but because you finally choose not to abandon yourself. Have you truly understood your emotions, dear one? Not controlled them, not hidden them, not judged them, not dressed them up so other people would feel more comfortable, but truly understood them. Have you ever paused long enough to ask, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Why is it here? What part of me is asking for love, safety, truth, or a new choice? Emotional intelligence begins in that quiet moment. It begins when you stop being dragged by emotion unconsciously and begin becoming a loving witness to what is happening inside you. It does not mean you never feel sadness, fear, disappointment, shame, or anger. A person with emotional intelligence is not a person who is always calm, always happy, always perfectly controlled. That is not emotional intelligence. That is often emotional suppression wearing a peaceful face. A person with emotional intelligence still feels deeply. They still have difficult days. They still get triggered. They still have moments when the body tightens, the heart aches, or the old wound speaks loudly. But they are learning something precious. They are learning to notice the emotion, listen to its message, and choose a new response instead of repeating the old reaction. This is why mindset needs emotional intelligence. Mindset is not only thinking positive thoughts. Mindset is the way you interpret life when emotion rises. It is how you interpret failure, how you interpret criticism, how you interpret rejection, how you interpret pressure, how you interpret someone's silence, someone's tone, someone's boundary, someone's difference from you. If you do not understand your emotions, you may know many affirmations and still be pulled back into an old reaction by one familiar feeling. You may say, I am worthy, but when someone does not reply, the old fear says, I am being abandoned. You may say, I trust life, but when something changes, the nervous system says, I am not safe. You may say, I choose peace, but when shame is touched, you may attack yourself before you even realize it. This is why emotional intelligence is so healing. It helps the affirmation become embodied. It helps the new mindset survive the moment when the old feeling appears. Say gently, I am willing to understand my emotions, guide my reactions, and create a new inner life. Let that sentence become a new invitation. You are not here to hate your feelings. You are here to understand them. You are not here to shame your reactions. You are here to guide them with love. You are not here to remain trapped in the emotional patterns of the past. You are here to create a new inner life, one conscious choice at a time. And the beautiful truth is this: emotional intelligence is a skill. You can learn it. You are not stuck in the emotional version of yourself that you became in childhood, in heartbreak, in rejection, in survival, or in fear. You may have thought, I have always been hot-tempered. I am too sensitive. I cannot control my emotions. This is just who I am. But my dear, these are not final sentences. They are old descriptions. They may explain where you have been, but they do not have to define where you are going. EQ is not a fixed label. It is a group of skills you can build through observation, practice, feedback, patience, and loving repetition. You can learn to pause. You can learn to name what you feel. You can learn to breathe before speaking. You can learn to ask, is this present pain, or is this old pain being touched? You can learn to respond from self-respect instead of fear. You can learn to repair after mistakes. You can learn to hold your tenderness without letting it become self-destruction. Your brain can learn new pathways. Every time you repeat an old reaction, the brain becomes familiar with that road. The angry response, the silent withdrawal, the anxious chasing, the harsh self-talk, the immediate defensiveness, these can become emotional habits, but habits are not destiny. When you stop, breathe, name the emotion, and choose something different, you begin creating a new path. At first, it may not feel natural. The old road is familiar. The new road may feel strange, slow, and difficult. But each time you choose again, you are teaching your nervous system another way to live. Each time you pause before reacting, you are healing. Each time you say, I am feeling shame and I do not need to attack myself, you are healing. Each time you say, I am angry and I can speak with clarity instead of cruelty, you are healing. Each time you say, I am afraid and I can reassure myself instead of running, you are healing. You do not need to hate the old version of you. That version was trying to protect you. The part of you that became defensive may have been trying to avoid being hurt again. The part of you that became anxious may have been trying to keep love close. The part of you that became controlling may have been trying to create safety. The part of you that became silent may have learned that speaking was unsafe. Do not shame the old self. Thank it for trying to protect you, and then lovingly teach it a freer way. This is the spirit of healing. I understand why I became this way, and I am willing to become new. Now let us look at the first field of emotional intelligence, self-awareness. Self-awareness is the foundation. It is the moment you ask, what am I feeling? Without this first step, emotion can become action before you even recognize what happened. You may say the sharp word, send the anxious message, withdraw, overgive, blame, chase, or criticize yourself, and only later realize, I was hurt, I was afraid, I was ashamed. Self-awareness helps you see the emotion before it becomes behavior. You notice, I am angry, I am embarrassed, I am afraid of being left, I am feeling rejected, I am reacting from an old wound, not only from what is happening now. This noticing is powerful. It creates a pause. And in that pause, a new choice becomes possible. Emotions shape thoughts. When you are afraid, everything may look dangerous. When you are ashamed, you may interpret everything as proof that you are not enough. When you are angry, you may see others as enemies. When you feel abandoned, even a small silence can feel like a deep rejection. But when you are peaceful, suddenly you see more options. You remember your worth. You can think more clearly. You can choose more wisely. So when a strong thought appears, ask, what emotion is coloring this thought? Maybe the thought is not pure truth. Maybe it is fear speaking. Maybe it is shame speaking. Maybe it is anger trying to protect you. Maybe it is grief asking to be comforted. When you know the emotional color, you do not have to believe every thought immediately. Practice self-awareness gently. When emotion rises, ask, what am I feeling? Where is this emotion in my body? What is it pushing me to do? Does this belong only to the present, or is it carrying an old memory too? These questions bring light into the inner room. They help you stop merging with the emotion and begin relating to it. You might say, I feel tightness in my chest, and I think I am afraid. Or, my jaw is tense, and I think I am angry. Or, my stomach is heavy, and I think I feel shame. Or, I want to pull away, and maybe I am feeling hurt. This is not overthinking. This is emotional literacy. You are learning the language of your inner life. And as you learn, please do not judge yourself. Do not say, I should not feel this. Do not say, I am too emotional. Do not say, a better person would not react this way. Instead, say, I notice my emotions with love. I do not judge what I am learning to understand. Let this be your affirmation for self-awareness. You are becoming conscious. You are learning to see what once controlled you from the shadows. You are learning to name what once moved through you unnamed. And every time you notice with love, you reclaim a little more freedom. My dear, understanding your emotions is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the beginning of a new mindset, a new nervous system, and a new way of living. You do not have to be ruled by old reactions forever. You can pause, you can listen, you can choose again, and with every loving moment of awareness, you are creating a new inner life. And now, dear one, after learning how to notice what you feel, let us take the next gentle step. Awareness is the doorway, but what you do after you become aware is where your healing becomes a new life. It is one thing to say, I am angry. It is another thing to pause before you speak. It is one thing to say, I am afraid. It is another thing to comfort yourself instead of running toward the old pattern. It is one thing to say, I feel hurt. It is another thing to respond from wisdom instead of from the wound. This is the second field of emotional intelligence, self-management. Self-management does not mean you suppress your emotions. It does not mean you swallow your truth, smile when you are breaking, or pretend to be calm while your body is trembling inside. That is not self-management. That is self-abandonment, wearing a disciplined face. True self-management means you can feel what you feel without allowing the feeling to destroy your words, your actions, your relationships, or your own peace. It means you can say, I am angry, and I do not need to become cruel. It means you can say, I am hurt, and I do not need to punish someone with silence. It means you can say, I am afraid, and I do not need to make a desperate decision. It means you can say, I am ashamed, and I do not need to attack myself. My dear, there is a small space between emotion and reaction. Sometimes it feels very tiny. Sometimes it feels almost invisible, but it is there, and emotional intelligence grows in that space. That space is where your freedom lives. That space is where the old pattern begins to lose power. That space is where you remember, I do not have to answer immediately. I do not have to decide immediately. I do not have to prove myself immediately. I do not have to defend myself immediately. The pause is power. You may have lived for many years believing that the first reaction is the truest one, but often the first reaction is only the most wounded one. The first reaction may come from fear, shame, anger, abandonment, or old pain. The first reaction may say, run, attack, beg, prove, control, disappear. But if you pause, even for one breath, the wiser self has time to enter the room. There is a difference between suppression and guidance. Suppression says, I am not allowed to be angry. Guidance says, I am angry, so I will slow down before I speak. Suppression says, I must not be sad. Guidance says, I am sad, so I need to care for myself and find healthy support. Suppression says, I should not feel jealous. Guidance says, jealousy is showing me a need, an insecurity, or a desire I have not yet honored. Suppression rejects the feeling. Guidance listens and then chooses wisely. When emotion is strong, use the 90-second practice. Stop. Exhale longer than you inhale. Name the feeling. Place one hand on your heart or belly. Feel the warmth of your hand. Then say, I can feel this without acting from it immediately. Let that sentence become a bridge between the emotional wave and the loving response. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is not send the message, not make the decision, not explain yourself from panic, not give the sharp reply, not agree because you are afraid, not say yes because guilt is loud. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is breathe until the adult self returns. Say gently, I can pause, I can breathe, I can choose a response that honors my peace. And after self-management, we move into the third field, motivation. In emotional intelligence, motivation is not only temporary excitement. It is not the short burst of energy you feel after a compliment, a good morning, or a beautiful idea. Real motivation is deeper. It is the ability to connect with your values, your priorities, and your inner why, so you can continue even when emotions rise and fall. If you do not know what matters to you, you may live according to the emotional weather of each day. Today you feel inspired, so you begin. Tomorrow you feel sad, so you stop. Today someone praises you, so you push yourself too hard. Tomorrow someone criticizes you, so you hide. Today you feel confident, so you show up. Tomorrow you feel uncertain, so you disappear. This is not because you are weak. It is because you have not yet anchored yourself in a value deeper than mood. Emotions are weather. Values are the ground. A beautiful life cannot be built only on how you feel in the moment. Feelings are important, yes, they must be listened to. But feelings are not always the leader. Sometimes fear says, do not try, while your value says, growth matters to me. Sometimes shame says, hide, while your value says, truth matters to me. Sometimes tiredness says, I want to give up forever, while wisdom says, rest today, begin again tomorrow. Emotional intelligence helps you honor the feeling without letting it erase your deeper direction. This is why motivation must be connected to vision. Do not only say, I want to be more confident. Let the mind see it. Imagine yourself entering the day with a lighter posture. Imagine speaking what you need to say without apology. Imagine completing one important task without needing it to be perfect. Imagine keeping one promise to yourself. Imagine receiving feedback without collapsing. Imagine looking in the mirror and not using your eyes as weapons against yourself. The body needs to feel the new direction. The mind needs an image. The heart needs a reason. Motivation is love with direction. Let that sentence rest inside you. Motivation is not shame with a whip. It is love with a lamp. It does not say you must succeed so you can finally prove you are worthy. It says you are worthy now. And because you are worthy, let us build a life that honors you. It does not say work harder or you are nothing. It says grow because your soul deserves a wider, freer, more beautiful life. When motivation comes from shame, you may move quickly, but you become exhausted. When motivation comes from love, you move with more respect for your body, your rhythm, and your truth. Shame may create pressure. Love creates devotion. Shame may create fear of failure. Love creates willingness to learn. Shame asks, how can I prove I am enough? Love asks, how can I express the value that is already within me? Say softly, I am guided by my values, my purpose, and the loving vision I hold for my life. Let this become your anchor on the days when emotion changes. You may not feel inspired every morning. You may not feel brave every time you need to speak. You may not feel calm every time life asks you to grow. But you can return to your values: peace, honesty, respect, courage, gentleness, growth, love, freedom. These can guide you when mood is unstable. Now we move into the fourth field, social awareness or empathy. Empathy is the ability to feel and understand others without losing yourself. This is very important. Empathy is not absorbing everyone's pain. Empathy is not becoming responsible for every emotion in the room. Empathy is not saying yes to every demand because someone else is uncomfortable. True empathy is spacious. It says, I can understand you, and I can still remain connected to myself. You can understand someone's pain without fixing everything for them. You can listen deeply without agreeing with every behavior. You can love someone and still have boundaries. You can be compassionate without becoming a sponge for other people's chaos. This is mature empathy. It is warm, but not self-erasing. It is open, but not boundaryless. It is kind, but not blind. A person with social awareness can read the energy in a room, not perfectly, not magically, but with sensitivity and attention. They may notice who is silent because they feel afraid. They may notice who is angry because they feel unheard. They may notice who is exaggerating because they feel unsafe. They may notice who needs acknowledgement more than another correction. They may notice when a conversation needs softness, when it needs clarity, and when it needs a boundary. Before reacting to another person, ask quietly, is there something this person has not said? What wound might they be protecting? Can I respond with clarity without cruelty? These questions do not excuse harmful behavior. They simply help you respond from wisdom instead of immediate defensiveness. Sometimes another person's anger is not only about you. Sometimes their coldness is fear. Sometimes their control is anxiety. Sometimes their criticism is shame speaking outward. Sometimes their silence is overwhelm. Again, this does not mean you must tolerate everything. It means you can see more deeply. And when you see more deeply, you can choose more wisely. Say gently, I listen with compassion. I understand others without abandoning myself. This is one of the most important emotional skills in relationships. Many people lose themselves in empathy. They feel everyone else so strongly that they forget to ask, what do I feel? What do I need? What is healthy for me? But true empathy includes you. Your feelings matter too. Your limits matter too. Your truth belongs in the room too. And now let us speak about emotional intelligence in leadership. Because whether you lead a company, a team, a family, a classroom, a project, a friendship, or simply your own life, your emotional state creates a climate. Emotions are contagious. A panicked leader can make an entire group feel unsafe. A cold leader can make people shrink, hide mistakes, and stop speaking honestly. A leader who reacts with shame or control may get people to move quickly for a while, but the cost is often hidden. Tension grows, trust disappears, creativity closes. People begin protecting themselves instead of offering their best. But a calm, clear, emotionally intelligent leader can help an entire room breathe. They do not need to be perfect. They do not need to have every answer, but they bring steadiness. They listen. They communicate with respect. They make space for truth. They correct without humiliation. They hold standards without destroying dignity. High emotional intelligence creates sustainable performance. It does not simply push people to do more. It creates an environment where people feel safe enough to tell the truth, learn from mistakes, understand the shared goal, feel respected, and work with energy that can last. When people feel emotionally safe, they do not waste so much energy defending themselves. They can use that energy to think, create, contribute, and grow. Low emotional intelligence may create short-term results through fear. People may run fast when they are afraid. They may obey quickly. They may hide mistakes. They may smile on the outside. But over time, fear creates exhaustion, silence, resentment, passive resistance, loss of trust, and eventually distance. An environment without emotional intelligence often pays for its results with the mental health of the people inside it. You cannot give others a feeling of safety if you are constantly at war with yourself inside. Leadership begins with the energy you bring into the room. If your inner world is full of panic, criticism, shame, and control, that energy will speak even when your words sound polite. If you are learning to breathe, listen, pause, and respond, that also speaks. People feel the climate of you. So leadership is not only about strategy. It is also about nervous system. It is about presence. It is about whether people become more honest or more afraid around you. It is about whether your words open people or close them. It is about whether your correction helps people grow or makes them feel unsafe to try again. Now let us look at the old habits that keep emotional intelligence from growing. The first habit is identifying with the emotion. I am an angry person. I am a negative person. I am weak. I am too sensitive. These statements turn a state into an identity. They make change feel impossible. Instead, speak in a way that allows growth. Say, I am learning to guide my anger. Say, I am practicing seeing life with new eyes. Say, I am building inner steadiness. Say, I am learning to feel deeply without abandoning myself. Do you feel the difference? One sentence locks you in. The other sentence opens a path. The second habit is reacting before understanding. When you do not pause to understand the emotion, you may say words that take a long time to heal. One moment of anger can create many days of distance. One sentence spoken from shame can wound someone deeply. One defensive reaction can close a conversation that needed honesty. This does not mean you must be perfect. It means the pause is sacred. The third habit is toxic positivity. Emotional intelligence is not saying everything is fine when something inside you is breaking. It is not covering pain with a smile and calling it healing. EQ says, I am hurting, and I can care for myself with love. It says, this is difficult, and I can take one wise step. It says, I do not need to deny the truth in order to remain hopeful. The fourth habit is confusing empathy with pleasing. Empathy does not mean you make everyone happy. Empathy does not mean you betray yourself to avoid discomfort. You can understand someone's feelings and still choose what is right for you. You can feel compassion and still say no. You can be loving and still be clear. You can care and still protect your peace. Now let us enter a simple 10-minute emotional intelligence reset. You can use this when you feel triggered, overwhelmed, defensive, anxious, angry, or unclear. For minutes 1 and 2, name it. Write or say, I am feeling. Let the answer be honest. I am feeling angry. I am feeling ashamed. I am feeling afraid. I am feeling disappointed. I am feeling lonely. I am feeling pressured. I am feeling unseen. Naming the feeling is not weakness. It is leadership of the inner world. For minutes 3 and 4, locate it. Ask, where is this in my body? Is it in the chest, throat, belly, shoulders, jaw, forehead, hands, or back? Does it feel tight, hot, heavy, sharp, empty, or restless? The body often knows the truth before the mind can explain it. Listen gently. For minutes 5 and 6, understand it. Ask, what is this emotion trying to protect me from? What does it need me to hear? Anger may be protecting your boundary. Fear may be protecting your safety. Shame may be trying to prevent rejection. Sadness may be asking for comfort. Anxiety may be asking for clarity. Do not shame the emotion. Listen for the message. For minutes 7 and 8, choose the response. Ask, what is my old reaction? Maybe the old reaction is attacking, withdrawing, people-pleasing, over-explaining, chasing, numbing, or blaming yourself. Then ask, what is a more loving response? Maybe it is to pause, to speak clearly, to rest, to ask for support, to set a boundary, to apologize, to wait before deciding, to tell the truth with kindness. For minute 9, align with value. Ask, what value do I want to live right now? Peace, honesty, respect, courage, gentleness, patience, self-respect, love. Let the value become your guide. You may feel anger, but choose respect. You may feel fear, but choose courage. You may feel shame, but choose gentleness. For minute 10, speak the new identity. Say, I am learning to respond from wisdom, not from old wounds. Say it again, slowly. I am learning to respond from wisdom, not from old wounds. This is emotional intelligence in one sentence. You are not pretending the wound is gone. You are not denying the feeling. You are simply choosing not to let the wound drive the whole vehicle of your life. My dear, when you understand your emotions, you no longer have to be afraid of yourself. Emotional intelligence does not make you emotionless. It makes you safer for yourself and safer for others. It helps you know what you are feeling. It helps you choose your response. It helps you remember what truly matters. It helps you listen to others without losing yourself. You become less reactive and more present, less defensive and more honest, less controlled by old wounds and more guided by inner wisdom. You do not become perfect. You become conscious. You do not stop feeling. You stop being ruled unconsciously by what you feel. And this is how mindset transforms, not only by thinking better thoughts, but by learning how to meet the emotions underneath the thoughts. Not only by saying affirmations, but by pausing when the old wound is activated. Not only by wanting peace, but by practicing peace in the moment when the body wants to react. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to learn a new emotional language. You are allowed to become the kind of person who can feel deeply and still choose wisely. You are allowed to be tender and strong, sensitive and grounded, honest and kind, loving and boundaried. Carry this sentence with you today. I understand my emotions, and I choose my life with love. Let it become a lamp inside you. When anger rises, return to love. When fear rises, return to love. When shame rises, return to love. When someone else is hurting, return to love without abandoning yourself. When you lead, lead with love. When you speak, speak with awareness. When you pause, pause with respect for the life you are creating. You are not your old reactions. You are not your first impulse. You are not the wound that speaks the loudest. You are the awareness that can notice, the heart that can soften, the wisdom that can choose, and the loving presence that can begin again. And with every pause, every breath, every honest question, every kinder response, you are creating a new inner life.